Hello, Sparks. Good day and welcome to another episode of Chem Sparks with Anita. And today we will be looking at another topic in chemistry, which is elements, compounds, and mixtures. In our last class, we looked at Introduction to Chemistry and we defined chemistry as a study of matter. It studies the structure, the properties, the compositions, and the changes that matter undergoes. And then based on the properties of matter, we looked at two major properties of matter, which are physical properties and chemical properties. And based on the physical properties of matter, we classified matter as what? Solid, liquid, and gas. And based on the chemical properties, we classified matter as what? Elements, compounds, and mixtures. We'll be taking them one after the other. Today, we are going to concentrate majorly on the elements. In our next class, we'll be looking at compounds. Now, what are elements? Element is defined as a substance that cannot be split into two or more simpler units by an ordinary chemical process. Now, using the term ordinary chemical process does not necessarily mean that there is a complex process that can be used to split elements. So don't get that twisted. When you see ordinary chemical process, what it means in essence is that elements cannot be split or further divided into simpler units. Okay? Now, an element is a major building block, and elements build compounds. Compounds are made from elements, so elements are major building blocks of compounds. Now, picture an element to be a Lego brick. I don't know if you know the Lego brick, the brick we played with as kids that we used to build other complex structures. There is a hole at one end and then an extension from the other end. We fix them and put them together to construct houses, cars, etc. Now, an element is one of those bricks, and then the cars or the complex structure we end up constructing with it gives the compound, which we'll be looking at in our next class. Examples of elements are sodium, iron, carbon, iodine, magnesium, etc. In the periodic table, we have a total of 118 elements. Currently, we have a total of 118 elements. And only 91 out of those 118 elements are metals. 18 out of the 118 elements are non-metals. And 7 out of the 118 elements are what is called metalloids. With this being said, I would like to let you know that elements are classified into three, and they are metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Now, metals, they give out their electrons, and when they give out these electrons, they become ionized. Okay, so we define metals as elements that ionize by what? Loss of electron. And non-metals are defined as elements that ionize by gain of electrons. When elements give out these electrons, non-metals accept the electrons and they become ionized in the process. Okay, and then metalloids are in between metals and non-metals. Under certain conditions, they exhibit the characteristics of metals and non-metals. I believe you've learned what an element is. Get ready, stay tuned for our next class so that we'll look at what compound is. Okay, if you have any question, let me know about it in the comment section and I will attend to them. Okay, or if you have any other topic you want us to look at, let me know about them and I will make a video on that, talking about that. Okay, so see you in our next class where we'll talk about compounds. Bye, Chem Sparks.